in this recording, I want to give a few comments on the SQL, the SQL project we just completed. But thank you all for submitting the assignments, and I really observed excellent work and your efforts. I really applaud for everyone completed. Just a few comments. I'm not really looking for the specific comments on the assignments, but because I believe I offered comments on your individual submission, even with a corrected database. So please make sure you do check my comments under your submission. The first thing I observed, some of the queries didn't run smoothly. The reason is because the syntax errors, such as the misspelling of the words in terms of the column names, the table names, or the punctuations. For example, like the SQL running is very sensitive to the spellings. Anything wrong, it will cause error on executing the queries. For example, if I call this salesperson number, even I miss, so for example, if I miss the S, or if I add a extra letter, or misspell the underscore as a dash, or miss the commas, and that's all causing the query will not run as you expected. So when you do troubleshooting, the first thing I would recommend is double check the spellings, the syntax. And if you have more complex code, such as I'm using the joint queries, I have the summaries and where a clauses, then you need to be more specific, careful to make sure everything is reading and writing correctly. So that's the first observation. And some of your queries, I see you use the customer ID, right? But I don't really have customer ID in my table at all. So make sure the column names or anything you put in the query is matching with your table structure. So that's first observation. And the second observation is really the way you learn the SQL and applying it in other problems. As I mentioned, what we have learned from here is really limited the fundamental commands in the SQL. So when you learn of the demo queries or you do your own assignments, don't just stop replicating what the teacher has done. Really think about what the purpose for this query, for the command especially, like what the purpose for select. So select is using to extract the different columns from a table, right? And from, that's normally coming with a table name. It can be a one table or multiple tables. Then where is the criteria I can specify for the data retrievals? So because this deep thinking will let you apply what we have learned here to more real world problems when you go to work or work on some other data projects. So that's like learn what you can learn by yourself later, right? So rather than just, finish my homework, get the grades. I really hope you can use this opportunity and later, I guarantee you will see some application of the SQL skills in your future working places. So return the knowledge we learned from here and continue to learn if you have any future opportunities. So that's kind of the second. And the third one, I really want to take another look for the joint queries. So that's the linked database. The linked database, the joint query is really the powerful data retrieval. We can use the relational database. So rather than getting all data from one single table. But when you do the joint queries, like we have one bonus question, you really need to understand first what the problem is, or what's my research question, and how I'm going to get the data from the different tables. Like query number 3 is the one from the book, is asking to list the customer first name, last name, and the salesperson's name. As we remember, all of the first 4 columns, we can get it from the customer table. But the salesperson name are in the linked salesperson table. So this is the results. Let's go to the SQL. So for joined queries, we make sure the data, the table are already linked together in your relationships. If you didn't link them before, you wouldn't be able to do this. And when you link them, what is the primary key and the foreign key are matching with each other. We have the main table is the customer table, and the salesperson is the linked table. So salesperson number, salesperson number is a foreign key, and in the customer table, and the salesperson number is the primary key in your salesperson table. So that's always, you make sure you are using the right association between the variables. And then when you have, like for example, the salesperson number, because this is the linking field, right? So like the system would like to know which salesperson number you are extracting from the customer table or salesperson table. So that's the reason I put a customer table name before the salesperson number in the select statement. That's because of this is the linking key. All other fields, they have different names in the 2 tables. And the salesperson first name, that's the one I'm calling from the second table. Right? So some of you skipped the joined query, but I hope you can take another look and retry it if you didn't do it in the first round, because joined queries are very popular to be used in any SQL settings. And then also, I think the summary statistics. Okay, when you use the average sum, be careful that the summary variable need to be consistent with the grouping variable. So let me show you this one using the bonus question. Okay, number 2. So bonus question number 2, I'm asking the total sales and average sales grouped by customer, each customer. So in this case, so I'm getting all of my data from the order sales table, right? Sales table, but not presenting the individual sales orders. I'm grouping the sales order by the customer number. So if you're looking for the code, I'm getting is a single query, single table query, but I'm calculating the sales amount, the total sales amount, and average sales amount for each customer. So the summary variable, okay, so I select a customer number, then this group variable must be consistent with the customer number. If you put a customer name here, your query wouldn't run. So that's what I mean, like a first name. So if you put a first name, but this first name is not in your group by statement, the query will return error message because it's really looking grouping consistency. Okay, so I need to so you can see if I run this, I will get a error message, I think. Wrong, you can see, because the first name is not in my group statement. Oh, that's something really be useful when you're using the group by and summary statistics. Okay, so I'm deleting this variable. and rerun using my original statement. So it's returning me the group by number and the total sales and average sales. Okay, so that's and then the bonus. So bonus number one is really easy. I'm asking a single criteria. So I'm asking the sales orders with the sales amount larger than $500. So it's a criteria. Even you can use a query design like from the query wizard. So I can define my search criteria. So the query, the SQL, very straightforward. I'm selecting all of the columns from the sales table where the sale amount larger than 500. A few of you put a sales, you put a S, actual S. And even someone use revenue, we don't have revenue in the table. Okay, so I know you are understanding, but it's not something you can just call randomly. So all of the table names and columns names, you should already use it in your table structure. Okay, so this is the sales amount. And then if you run, and it's giving me the 500 up sales orders. Then finally, bonus 3, this is a joint query. And I'm asking the inventory. So inventory, so like the inventory, the total sales for each inventory item. So this is a combination of the inventory table and the sales table, a joint. Let's see the SQL. Because I wrote this query by myself, right? So it's really kind of simple, but if you use a query wizard for joint queries, it really give you this blanket and a table name before the field name. Okay, it's like a more professional, but I think the join, I think the default join is left join or inner join. I believe is inner join. And if you use the query design, like the query wizard, they will specify, so what type of join. We have left join, right join, inner join, outer join. So it's depending on your join specifications. I'm using the default. It means the inner means that I'm pulling the data records from both tables. Both tables should have this data information. So we can form two tables where the primary key, foreign key. The sales table has the primary key for the sales number, and inventory has the foreign key for sales number, and group by inventory ID. And then I'm summarizing the total sales for each inventory. Because in our sunglass, each inventory is unique. We only have like one item per inventory ID. It doesn't really make much sense, but imagine if you work on regular inventories, like the groceries or department stores, right? So I want to summarize the total revenue for my clothings or bananas, and this query will be very important, like daily sales, weekly sales, or monthly sales. So that's another practice on the joint queries. So if you didn't try the bonus question, I hope you can try and pick up, because that's really give you another learning opportunity. I think I will stop here. And again, so I really encourage, even we kind of finish the Access and the SQL, but there are lots of practice opportunities you can do by yourself.